up for Cyber Lunch.
Some people throw parties, some get all drunk and sing karaoke with their friends.
That's what I'm talking about.
Some people sit around and stare at their TV to celebrate their dirty 30.
Never mind, I'll take that one.
But here at Cyber Lunch, we celebrate our 30th episode by simply catching up on what's been on our minds and in our consoles. But thanks for sticking with us, Cyberbots. We love you. I'm Daryl.
I'm Jake.
Welcome to Cyber Lunch, a weekly podcast that deals with the nostalgia reflected and integrated into our everyday lives through growing up in the digital revolution, plus a plethora of tangents and passionate discussions with special guests and our favorite music, movies, video games, and television shows of the past and today. What's happening?
What's up, man?
Boom. Always nailing it. You know, I was in the car while you were picking up beer, and I actually heard July 2nd. It was our pre-episodes.
July 2nd?
Yeah, of last year.
No way.
Yeah.
I still have those.
It was like episode 1.5.
Yeah.
I think I had it on my phone or something like that.
Wow. I remember that.
It sounded like shit, too.
Sitting in, we were recording it from our laptops.
Yeah, no, we were from Justin's laptop. That was that day we went on that big walk. Yeah. I don't know if Matt was around, but he was bitching that we walked too many blocks. And he's like, oh, it's getting fucking hot out here.
And I gotta leave. I gotta go home when we got back. Yeah, we sat at the kitchen table, or his dining room table with the patio door open, June bugs buzzing. That was a whole
year ago now.
And that's crazy.
Which is kind of weird. You think that we'd be further along for 38 episodes, but hey.
That's 30 weeks.
I think that was more just kind of like test episodes more than anything before we really started posting Halloween. It. I don't think that ever won. The Halloween episode was the first real one that we posted. We have some on the back burner that we never even bothered to post, maybe for the best, but I remember listening to them. Probably for the best. How you been, man?
Good. How
Keeping up. Oh, not bad. Busy.
Back to work.
Work. That's all it is. That's how you.
What have you been playing?
Oh my God, we're gonna get into that. We got a lot to go. We got a lot to go through. It's mostly been a lot of watching lately, and on our little hiatus, so we've watched a lot of different things. And the first thing that's on our docket today is Batman Ninja, Takashi Okazaki.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The creator of Afro Samurai, if you're familiar with that.
Great,
awesome anime. I only think I had like one or two runs. There was Afro Samurai, the first DVD. Then they had the Afro Samurai Resurrection, two separate DVDs. Very stylish, hyper-violent. The music was done by Wu-Tang Clan. It had a couple games. The second game was so bad that they pulled it from the digital store on PlayStation 4. I remember that.
But the dad from Friday was one of the voices in the anime.
Yep.
Remember the game Fury I showed you?
Yeah, it was very similar.
No, it was the same guy.
Oh,
same artist. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. This movie
goes off the rails in all the best ways.
Yes,
I would have to say.
Cross between Batman, Voltron, Power Rangers.
Did you watch the Japanese with subtitles, or did you watch the English?
English.
I did too.
Yeah,
I mean, if there wasn't, I don't know. I'm like indifferent on both of those fronts. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not that big of a weeb where I'm just like, I only watch anime with Japanese and I read the subtitles. Sometimes I miss the art.
Yeah, the art is what I loved about this movie. Basically, what the story is, something happens where there's some.
We don't want to spoil the whole thing.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about it. I mean, whatever. Batman has to go back. He goes back in time. He gets trapped in like an explosion. Yeah,
because they're in Gotham City at the very beginning, and there was some type of like quantum explosion that happened.
Grog.
Grog, yeah.
Gorilla Grog.
You were going to say Killer Croc.
Yeah, it was.
I knew you were going to say that.
One of the Flash's arch enemies. He's like a super smart gorilla. Don't ask questions. It's comic books. And he invents like this thing where he wants to reverse time.
Basically, it's a time machine. He gets sent back to futile Japan, where Joker is now in reign.
But he's been there like 5 years before Batman gets there. because of time and science.
I know that a ton of animated Batman movies have come out, and I kind of fell off right after the Sub-Zero Batman movie came out. I don't know if you. It was like on VHS. It was a long time ago. It was like the movie after Return of the Mass Phantasm or Return of the Phantasm.
Sub-Zero. You mean Mr. Freeze?
No, it was before that.
Well, Sub-Zero is Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Mr. Freeze.
I think that's what the name of the movie was, is Sub-Zero, though.
Okay,
and it was dealt mainly around Mr. Freeze, but Return of the Phantasm, I think, is what I'm talking about. It was like the Grim Reaper, robot-esque looking guy, and it ended up to be a chick the whole time. It was very awesome. Oh, yeah, of course. Anyways.
You said it this time.
Batman Ninja. Awesome.
It's fucking great. This thing is so whacked out and crazy. It's fun. What is it, like 45 minutes?
I don't know. It's at least an hour and a half. It's worth it.
Basically, Joker has been there early and has started taking over Japan.
Yeah, he built an empire, and Harley Quinn's there, and you see a lot of like really awesome cameos
for like 18 seconds.
Oh yeah, Bane, and then you have Robin, and then they have that whole Batman clan, and that was like a whole not a conspiracy, but a prophecy. A prophecy has been laid down, and we've been actually neglecting to talk about this for a long time, but it's DC Comics based. I think the first poster was revealed on October 2017. On digital format, it released on April 24th, 2018, so it's been out a few months, but I ended up picking up on Blu-ray.
How much?
I think it was like $17, something like that.
I would pay $10 for this.
Yeah.
Jake's review, $10.
Yeah.
I would buy that.
Definitely. I mean,
or Redbox it.
It's kind of like one of those really awesome Saturday morning movies that you just kind of slap on while you're making breakfast.
More mature.
In a way, there's not anything too overly obscene.
Visually, though.
Visually, I mean, the Joker, I don't know, he is kind of scarier looking, so you wouldn't really want to watch it around like your real small kids because they might have nightmares.
I would like to know how the Joker learned to fight like that in 5 years. That'd be sweet.
Well, not only that, but he looks, I don't know, like his jaw looks messed up. I don't know. It's a different art style.
I like how each section of Japan, though, was ruled by Joker, Two-Face. Who was the other guy? It was Joker, Two-Face,
the Penguin.
That's what it was. And then Gorilla Grodd, like, was at the center of everything. Yeah. It was good, man. I enjoyed it.
No, it was great. And
the artwork is amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cross between like a 2D 2D, Jesus. More like a cell shaded versus, I don't know, like a hand-drawn. It's hand-drawn with 3D cell shading.
Yeah.
There's not a bunch of huge twists, but it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's just ridiculous fun. I watched it and giggled.
Love those statues.
His haircut, Batman's haircut, it's like really...
That was bad with the Batman tattoo on his head. He was disguising himself as a monk or something, and
that's what he looks like.
Oh Lord! But that's straight up anime though. It's over the top obvious, but it's a joy to watch. It really is. Having said that, shall we talk about something
that wasn't? Well, that's subjective. There's a huge bias happening in the Star Wars realm right now with Disney acquiring Star Wars, obviously, and now I guess I hear Fox. They finally are sealing the deal with a portion of Fox. I don't know how that's all going to work out.
So X-Men's screwed for the rest of our
lives. Who knows? I heard that X-Men horror movie is still supposed to come out. You know what I'm talking about? New Mutants.
Yeah. No, it got canceled.
What?
Yeah, last I heard it got canceled. It was supposed to be a TV show, like a Netflix show, and then they're going to make it a movie. Like, I think we were at a movie and saw a trailer for it. Like, it was coming, and then they canceled it. So...
No, because there's this other movie coming out, and I can't remember the name, but they all have superpowers, and it looks kind of B-rated, but it is coming out in the theaters, but it has nothing to do with X-Men.
Well, then...
Who knows? I have no idea. But
there's a Harry Potter movie coming out that's apparently not about Harry Potter.
You mean Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Too?
Sure.
I watched that.
Of course you did.
No, but it took me, I swear to God, 6 tries to get through it.
Really?
There's a certain part where I'm just like, I'm done.
Is it like Dumbledore when he was young, right? No?
It has nothing to do with that. It's like pre-Dumbledore. I can't even describe it. There's just...
I said that like I knew who Dumbledore was.
Yeah, you do. You do.
The gray white guy that died, right?
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, gray white guy that died. You mean Gandalf?
No, well, no, but not in real life, though.
Same
He's
guy.
Still alive.
I don't know.
Dumbledore is dead, right?
I don't know. For people that like Harry Potter, it is what it is. Inevitably, I made it through finally on like the fifth watch. It's pre Hogwarts. I don't know.
Don't feel bad. I sat through all the Twilight movies, so
I haven't watched any. So for you admitting that, God bless you, because I never watched one of them.
I don't lie.
Who made you watch that?
That's a long story.
That's a long story. We won't even get into it.
It was in St. Cloud.
What else is a long story?
Let your imagination go from there. What? Solo.
When I saw this movie, I was having a great day.
You saw this like a week and a half before me. You saw the opening, right?
I saw it the very opening day. I didn't pay a dime to see it because I had a gift card that my girlfriend had. I was up in Duluth, Minnesota. I went to 2 breweries that day before I went there. So, of course, I went in with rose-tinted glasses. No. I was just like, it's an awesome... I went on a Friday. No.
Right.
No, it was a Friday afternoon, I would say at like 3 o'clock. And it was at the old Omni Theater in downtown Duluth. They renovated that into like a mega screen, kind of like what they have at Oakdale here in Minnesota. Yep. It was very similar to that. I went in with a full belly of nachos and beer, and there's a couple parts where I was like, holy shit, that's kind of cool. Like, they did some cool things, but inevitably, I was underwhelmed, especially not being a huge fan of The Last Jedi, that we have a whole almost 2-hour rant upon. If you want to go check that out on YouTube if you haven't already.
You should, because it's all truth.
It is truth, but sometimes people don't want to hear it. And at the same time, people also just want to believe what they want to believe. And, you know, it's like that whole argument with the Laurel and Yanny thing. Some people hear Laurel, some people hear Yanny. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
The internet sensation. I feel like that's how it is.
No, it's
in
not
Star Wars.
Because you know goddamn well it's saying Laurel.
I believe you. No, I agree with you. Not only do I believe you, but not only do I believe you, but I agree with you, but you got to just take a step back and realize people are going to believe different shit.
Look, if you like the movie, if you like Last Jedi, more power to you. We gave our opinions. I gave my opinion for sure. I went into Solo. I brought my mother, like I do for every other Star Wars movie except for Last Jedi.
Because you and I went right before. That was the second viewing I had when you and I went.
Yes. And it was my first viewing, and I was very scared. You know that.
You should have been scared.
And anyway, I went and saw this with my mom because she's taken me to every Star Wars movie my whole life, pretty much. And I was bored the entire time.
I wasn't bored. I just felt like I was watching a sci-fi movie with Star Wars skin. Inevitably, I feel like whoever played Han Solo, I can't remember his name because who fucking cares?
Or Ollenreich?
Yeah, whatever. Ollenreich. He could have been casted better. I've seen other actors that were auditioning for his role that played much better.
The Kingsman dude.
Yeah.
Could have been him.
Could have been him. I don't know.
That should be the new James Bond, by the way.
One of my... Before we get all negative, because inevitably...
No, I'm not negative.
No, but I just want to say the part that I admire the most is when he got thrown in the pit and I thought he was going to fight the Rancor.
Yeah.
And ended up to be Chewie.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. And when he first started talking Wookiee, it was like uncomfortable, but then after a little bit, I was like, okay, that explains a little bit. It was
such bullshit. Like, oh, I spoke Wookiee in college. Just like, no, you didn't. That's fucking stupid.
No, here's what's ridiculous. There's 3 points I'm going to make in this movie. Everything else, take it as it is. But these are the 3 things when I looked at my mom and we were laughing hard. He goes to apply for Empire Flight Academy or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Right? Yep.
What's your name? Han. What's the last name? Just Han. Well, you need a last name. Who are you here with? I'm by myself.
He's scratching his face.
Solo. Like, fuck off. Right? Fuck off.
Did you like the Happy Days?
What?
Did you like the Happy Days?
What Happy Days?
Just the whole show.
Old show, Happy Days?
Richie Cunningham, the Happy Days.
Honestly, not really. The only thing I have an attachment to that is because I was called Richie and Opie. That was
Here's the deal. It could have been a lot worse, but it could have been a lot better.
I'm not saying that.
Ron Howard did the best he could with the bullshit that...
That's the thing. Switch directors again. Anyway, here's my other 2 things. Chewbacca was awesome in this. And then Han Solo's standing there talking to him. What's your name? Oh, Chewbacca. I'm not saying that every time. We need to find out something shorter. That explains how he calls him Chewie all the time. Like, fuck that. That's just something you would yell out if it's your buddy, right? Right?
They kind of have to put it in there for subtle nods. They have to put it in.
Dumb.
I know it's dumb, but they have to put it in their subtle nods.
I actually have 2 more things.
Make it 10 more because we know it's going to be fucking 10
I won't.
more.
We're not going to make it like
I know.
that. It's not going to be that.
It's fine. Go ahead.
The robot is one of the worst characters. It's probably the...
Do you notice that it's probably voiced by Brienne of Tarth?
It sounded like it, right?
It did. It sounded like Phasma.
Yeah.
She probably...
Third worst character.
I don't know if that's true. You should look that up.
Third worst character in Star Wars history. It goes Jar Jar.
You should look. I'm serious, though.
I'm going to look.
Go ahead. Cast. There you go.
Rose. Or no, Jar Jar is first. Rose.
I disagree.
And then fucking...
I take
robot.
Jar Jar over Rose.
Actually, you're probably right. Actually, you're right. You're right. And I hate Jar Jar.
And then there was that whole controversy that people were being mean to her. She quit Twitter. Before you're going to say anything, it reminds me of that South Park episode.
You're going to say anything.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Nope. Stop.
No, just wait. So there's a South Park episode where this little girl, I can't remember her name, but she's like walking out on the bridge and it looks like she's going to jump off and kill herself, but she drops her phone into the water.
No, it's not her.
Oh, well, that's surprising.
It's Phoebe Mary Waller-Bridge.
Sure.
Jesus. She's a poet. Go figure.
Let me finish. Okay. So she drops her phone off of the bridge, and then at school, everybody's like having a support group because it's like, did you hear so-and-so quit Twitter? Like it was a big fucking deal. Like anybody cared. It's just like, okay, I know that some people were being extreme with their criticisms as far as like, oh, some Asian chick is blah, blah, blah doing this, that, and the other thing. And then there's like people in the middle, kind of like you and I, were it's just like, no, she just had... Whoever wrote her character in had no business writing in any of that.
Where are the angry letters to that asshole?
That's what I mean.
And who decided that we needed a Rose? It's not her fault. Of course you're going to take fucking millions
She's just
of dollars.
a fucking actress at the end of the day. That's it.
I have no problem with her. The fact of the matter is the character sucks. Not the person. Not the human being.
Yeah, because Jar Jar Binks didn't quit his Instagram because people were bitching at him.
I hate, who's your favorite character from Force Awakens? With the glasses.
Oh, I don't even know. I'm sorry.
Yes, you do. Solo, Han Solo.
Oh, see, I try to like just block her out. Right. She doesn't even exist.
I don't hate the actress that voiced her. Like, it was a shitty character in the movie, but the actress didn't do anything.
God damn it. What is that orange fucking idiot's name?
We all know it. Who cares? I don't even want to talk about it.
It doesn't even matter.
This movie had cool
I want to know, though, because now I'm getting upset about it.
It had cool little set pieces. But we didn't need this movie. Han Solo's never going to be in danger because he's still alive. We still know that he survived. We know Chewie's still here.
Maz Kanata, thank you.
Maz Kanata. We know Chewie's still going to live. We know that who else is in it? Lando, still alive. We know the Millennium Falcon's still alive, for Christ's sake. Like the ship is. Nothing, it's just upgrades.
Amelia Clark looked good with dark hair.
She's a sucky actress, though, man. Holy shit.
She probably phoned it in. I don't blame her.
Oh, whatever.
She's like, I am the queen of dragons. Like I do not need any of this.
The bad guy, Vision.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
It was good. It was good, but they went away from it right away, and it was just this bullshit. I didn't want to see the Kessel Run.
He was so evil, dude. He's like, well, I'm going to kill you, but...
I'm going to pull out my not lightsabers and fight you. But he was cool as hell because he was cold. He was like that one of those villains that's like super nice, but he's just like fucking...
Woody Harrelson played the devil's advocate.
Whatever.
I know, he's whatever. He is just a name to put on the poster. And same with that girl that was the lead in Westworld. I would consider her one of the leads.
Oh, yeah.
Other than Ellen Rachel Wood?
Is that the blonde?
God damn it, I can't remember her name.
Sorry, I know
Evan Rachel Wood was that other chick. God damn it, I can't remember.
Anyway,
from Westworld.
The movie was just something.
It was just something.
It was something. And did you notice how dark it was filmed? Like you can't see anything.
I just thought that was like the 8 beers I had before I went and saw it.
You can't see anything. You can't see any damn thing. And when the snowtroopers when they're on the ground, when the walkers are falling down and he gets demoted to ground crew or whatever, since when did stormtroopers have individual thought? You know what I mean? They were all clones. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, either stay with it or stay out. And it's been out long enough. I'm going to spoil it. What did you think of that end?
I thought it was underwhelming. personally.
And I love Darth Maul. Darth Maul.
He's just...
it was so shoved in there.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm just like... Ugh.
Everybody hates the prequels. Everybody that's a Star Wars fan. And they are going
I liked Phantom Menace. I did,
I'm right with you. I'm right with you.
Pod racing was a shit. They need to come out with a new pod racing game.
Darth Maul should have stayed through that whole 3 series. No, it would have been sick. Anyway, I was like, holy shit, that's Darth Maul.
That was the sickest lightsaber battle that's ever happened in Star Wars, period.
Battle of the Fates.
Yep.
That's the name of
Duel
the
of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates. It's one of the greatest things ever. And in the cartoon, Darth Maul's cut up in half, but he gets robot legs because Vader was all robot, So seeing him was awesome. But the fact that he had to force call his fucking lightsaber while he was on like a video conference call with Brienne of Tarth, or not Brienne of Tarth, but the dragon lady. He has to grab his lightsaber while
Amelia Clark.
Yes, while he's on a conference call with her, and then light it up the one side. We got to make sure we do the second side so you know exactly who the fuck this is.
Well, it's just a slow clap for the Star Wars series, I guess.
It was Ray Park, so for that, the rest of the movie was just blah.
Give him a slow clap.
Did you see when Han Solo was flying the Millennium Falcon and he's talking to somebody to his right? I think it was Amelia Clark or whoever, Chewie. And he's talking to him, flying through space, and he's doing one of these.
Our audience can't see you.
Like a steering wheel, like you're pretending to drive a car in a movie. It's like, you're in space, motherfucker. You can kick your feet up.
That's because he's not a real actor. He got cast just for that role.
Okay, so
what other movie has he been?
Put that shit in like 21 Jump Street 3 or something. Keep it out of my Star Wars.
Jump Street 3.
Anyway, it was...
You're suggesting Channing Tatum should have been Han Solo?
Yeah. He would have done a better Han Solo. He would have done a better Han Solo.
You never know.
I never...
He would have had better rippling abs, I guess. Fuck. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Did you, the whole movie, did you ever think you were watching Han Solo?
No. I felt like I was watching a Star Trek episode that looked like Star Wars.
Right. However, when you saw Chewie, I felt like I was seeing Chewie. Yeah. Like that was Chewie.
Yeah.
Lando, he did an impression of Billy D. Williams. Yep. He did an impression of him. He didn't bring anything new. But he did his voice. The first time I heard that voice, I'm like, oh shit, that's Lando. But Han Solo was just blah. I'm sorry, he was. And it was just dumb.
You're talking about Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover. Who is, he is what he is. Some people love him, some people... He's like...
I don't really know of his music, honestly. I haven't really kept up.
Childish Gambino.
Yep.
I saw This Is America. I saw that.
Oh, his stand-up.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
His music, his last song. Anyway. I would Redbox it if you're... I mean, like me, if you're into Star Wars, you have to watch it. I mean, it's not like we're saying...
You're going to hate me for this, but
don't tell me you liked it.
I'm probably going to buy it.
Well, I have Last Jedi.
I know. I'm just... We're just supporting the bullshit, but at the end of the day, whatever. I mean, Star Wars is Star Wars. Actually, since all this, I know, but at the end of the day, I started rewatching Clone Wars because I heard it was so awesome.
The second prequel?
No, like the animated series.
Oh, I tried to watch
on
that.
Netflix.
I mean, it's cool, but it's a kid's thing.
It is, but you got to look past that. Inevitably, it's on Netflix. It's free. It's non-violent, non-threatening. So if you want to fall asleep to it, like golf or fucking
and it has
FIFA,
great canon,
great lightsaber battles. Probably better than what we've seen in The Last Jedi for sure.
That's true.
And plus, like I said, it's on Netflix. All of it's on Netflix. I haven't gotten to watch any of the Rebels series. I actually
heard Rebels was okay.
I own some of the figurines, so I have a little bit investment in that. I don't know how I think I ended up with a couple of the Micro Machine models. I have it sealed and just kind of hanging on to it.
Yeah.
Just for memorabilia purposes.
That's why I got these stupid fucking Funko Pops, right?
I think Pixel Pals is going under because they're all on sale.
Are they? You should buy them all.
I know.
How many are there now? 42?
At least that. They must be because I saw Luigi on sale at GameStop for like $7.
Oh no, that's just GameStop. I bought my wallet for $3.95 there, and it was originally like $22. My Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Wallet. Anyway,
I got the hand-me-down.
You have my Nintendo. Fuck you, man. I had that for like 2 weeks. I gave you a brand new Nintendo fucking wallet. Do you still have it, or did you throw it away?
No, it's in my car.
Right, you don't use it though, right?
Well, because my other one's Timberland.
Yeah. Oh.
And plus, if you looked at my wallet, I get it so full of paint, I don't want to ruin it anyways.
Oh, so, no, that's...
Just having it in my pocket.
I would want that thing to be splattered in paint and all your work thing. That's the wallet you should be using.
I guess. It's not a big deal. Don't be salty.
It's not corporate master, so I understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, go see Solo, whatever. Don't go see it. Watch it.
Is it still in theaters, actually?
No, probably not.
I bet you
it is. I know
is.
Last Jedi is on Netflix already.
Oh, I bet.
Ouch.
I know. It's just a giant audio clip of somebody pooping.
Hey, Kathleen Kennedy.
Great job.
One thumb up. Good job.
Great job.
Anyway, new movie coming out in the Marvel Universe, which we love.
We're going to get to it in 1 second. I have to take a bathroom break. I'm sorry.
We got to talk about it quick.
I can't. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ant-Man.
All right, we're back. Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out next Friday, 2018 release. One of the big blockbusters for
quote unquote
this summer.
Yeah.
We are interested to see how it's going to tie into Infinity War, but inevitably I am underwhelmed by the Ant-Man series. I remember going by myself to see the movie, like a 10 o'clock showing, and I woke up in an empty theater. Personally, I love the Marvel shit. We've already talked about that. I don't get why people praise Ant-Man. I don't get why they praise Black Panther, and I don't get why they praise what's the other one? Damn it. Now I'm going to draw a blank. I already had it. That's all right. But I don't get I mean, they're good, but they're not. Oh, Doctor Strange. I don't understand why people love that movie. I love him in Avengers Infinity War, and I like him in his bit parts in Ragnarok and things like that. I don't get that movie. It's not. I like him fighting Dormammu. I liked Black Panther because it reminded me of a Marvel movie in the skin of kind of like a Lion King. I don't know if that's bad to say.
Kinda.
I don't know.
Talking about Marvel. Like, I don't want Lion King in my shit. I don't know.
It's kind of like a family drama. So you had the White Wolf, inevitably, who killed
his
father.
Right. It's not a horrible movie.
It reminded me of kind of Game of Thrones with the fighting on the waterfall. And Michael B. Jordan, I guess, is, an underwhelming character. But at the end of the day, it was a fun movie.
Right,
I've seen worse.
So Doctor Strange, you liked?
Yeah, I like Doctor Strange. I saw that in the theaters.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the first half. He was so full of himself. He got in that car accident. He's just like, I'm not about the power of the leaf, or whatever the fuck he was on about. I liked Ant-Man when he came out of the van in Civil War, and he was hungover, and he's like, oh, yeah, I guess, whatever. And he's like, oh, you're Captain America. Like, that kind of thing. He's one of the lesser characters. Right. I don't know. I don't really care. So, I'll see it. I'll probably own it, because I want all of them, but it's not like, it'll make $400, $500, $600 million. Yeah, I'm sure. Have you seen... Or have you read any of the original comics of Ant-Man and the Wasp? No, I don't care. I don't care. They're derivative, and at the end of the day, I don't know. But that's just me. They're fun summer romps, because what the hell else is there to watch? That's honestly, true. Right now. Yeah, summer. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which we can get into later. Who knows? No, we can get into it right now. No, I don't want to. I really don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a bastardization of There's a guy who made a lot of subjective movies, in my eyes. I mean, some good, some bad. Iron Man 3 sucked. I'm talking about M. Night Shyamalan. Or 4. Oh, we're talking about this, huh? I am. I didn't care for Lady in the Water. I didn't care for some parts of Signs. Signs was okay. It had some creepy parts in it. Sixth Sense was iconic in every sense of the word. Yeah. Unbreakable was very slow. Loved that movie. I didn't care for it when I first saw it, because maybe I was too young. I didn't really get it. Lady in the Water, and I understood. The Happening was a giant shit show. Hated it. The Signs pissed me off. Village was a piece of shit. Horrible. I wish there was. But then Unbreakable came out, and I was like, I was underwhelmed. Cool. But yeah, I get it. I do. And then Split came out. It's his newest movie, and you're like, whoa, we talked about this. Yeah, we did. That was one of my favorite movies of the year last year. It was great. And now they're making Glass, which is like the... You want to explain it? Yeah. So Bruce Willis is our hero. The same hero in Unbreakable. Protagonist. Split. Yep. Protagonist, yeah. Split is McAvoy as the Beast.
which is one of his nemesis.
Bruce Willis's nemesis.
Right. Yep. And then Samuel L. Jackson as Mr. Glass, who is his arch nemesis. Right? And it's like, I like it because it's a superhero movie in the real world, like a Watchmen, something like that.
Grounded in reality, but it's still fantastical.
But the poster is awesome. Everything about it sounds great. It's still in the hands of that motherfucker M. Night Shyamalan, who either can make something...
What a twist!
He'll make something that could be passable, or he's going to make something that is a fucking joke.
The one I did want to see, it's on my watch list that I never saw. Maybe you did. The Visit?
No.
I want to see that now.
The Visit?
I gotta write that. Yeah,
right?
I got to write that down. Hang on, I'm going to write that down right now.
So, January 18th, Glass. I'm excited because I like these characters. I love Unbreakable. I thought it was written very, very well, and it was shot very well, and it was realized very well, in my opinion. Split was great. I would say great because I've seen it multiple times, and I still like it every time I see something new. McAvoy is a genius in it.
He is.
And then Glass, I love Samuel L. Jackson as somebody that he's not physically strong, but like mentally he's a psycho. And that's a perfect,
the only
parallel.
part of Unbreakable that I remember is when the small child, I don't think Bruce Willis was with him, but a small kid was in Samuel L. Jackson's comic book shop trying to buy it, and he wouldn't let him.
He's like, rich guy.
Yeah, he's like, that is not for you, and so on and so forth.
I just want to show it to my buddies. It's like, it's not for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers. I bet you any money it's going to be better than Last Jedi or Solo, though. That's the bad part.
Apples and oranges.
Right.
Inevitably.
I don't like oranges.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. We'll see how that lives up. And same with this movie. This movie is slated for a January 18th release of 2019. So next year.
Yeah.
We got a little bit to wait. I'm surprised it wouldn't come around like October, because it kind of it fringes on a horror movie. It's more of a thriller, especially Split in itself.
Yeah,
especially Split.
But it's spring, or actually it's January when everybody's sitting in their house freezing their asses off, like 3/4 of the country. So
I never understood that. Seeing a horror movie in the middle of winter, meh. I want to see it in fall.
Horror movies really
it's seasonal.
Don't do anything for me.
I know, but they're seasonal at the end of the day for me personally.
Wait, speaking of horror movies, you saw Hereditary?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think? Tell me, you spoil it for me. I don't care.
I'm waiting for our compatriot Justin to really get into this because he went and viewed it with me. But I feel like there's a lot of people that want to see jump scares in a horror movie. Okay. They want it to be a little bit more fast paced. They want it to be, I guess, more fleshed out.
It's a slow burn. Right?
It's a very slow burn, but in the essence of true real life horror, this nails it on the head. It centers around a family. There's a lot of family drama that happens, not necessarily supernatural things. There are elements of this that show up periodically in the film.
Well, grandma dies.
The matriarch of the family dies. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's more centered around real life tragedy and then the depths and the consequences and the challenges that come behind that, rather than like there's a ghost in my house and I'm trying to kill it.
Sweet. I need to get some popcorn.
Not really. No. It's a hard watch. Inevitably, it's a hard watch, but I say, just as you saw The Witch, you should watch it once, because it's kind of like, you're not going to walk away like, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. It's just one of those like kind of gross, just like off-putting movies.
Shower. Yeah. That's what The Witch.
Shower. Maybe that's what it should be called.
I watched The Witch and I was like, we should make a movie called I Need a Shower Now.
I need a shower
now.com. And just watch some freaking horrid shit. Anyway.
Speaking of horrid
shit.
Our
buddy, Nicolas Cage.
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
No. There's a movie coming out called Mandy. And I saw this trailer.
I'm underwhelmed by the name. I'm just like, Mandy doesn't really invoke terror within me.
But I saw this. I heard about this when I was going through YouTube. And it was on IGN, I think. And they showed a trailer of this. And I watched this. And it gave me strong Christine. Remember that Stephen King with the car?
With the car.
Strong Evil Dead. Strong what's this, like a Donnie Darko?
Donnie Darko. It kind of gives kind of like a Mad Max in a way, just with the crazy costumes.
Yeah.
Same with Hobo with a Shotgun, like the two demon brothers that were like undead working for the Drake.
Yeah, it feels like one of those movies that's not quite under budget, but not quite over budget either.
And it also feels like a movie that you probably shouldn't watch, but you're gonna watch it.
It's gonna feel gross. You're gonna need a shower. Yeah, it's one of those. I'm super excited. I'm actually. I love Nicolas Cage. I don't care. I hated Wicker Man, and I was just like, I'll take him for what he's worth. The only thing I hate him for is the Ghost Rider.
I didn't mind those movies. I saw him in theaters. The last movie I saw him in the theaters was, it wasn't Lord of War. Oh, maybe it was.
With the bullets.
Yeah, and then The Knowing. If you ever seen that movie.
Yeah, I've heard that's good, though.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I took my dad to see it.
Is that with Jessica Biel?
I can't remember. Yeah, that was good. That was a really good one.
Now, we should take a real break. And we're gonna
should.
2 more subjects.
All right. Okay, bye. I do not know. Are we almost there? I do not know.
Gives me chills. I love this shit.
One of the greatest games to have graced the PlayStation console in a long time, I have to say.
Long time. I'm glad you said that. But yeah, it's a 80-hour pleasure fest. Pretty much is. Audio, visual, everything about the game is great. It's great to have another game where you can just spend so much time by yourself.
I think it's one of the greatest looking character designs of all time.
It's unbelievable. Really, it is.
What game are we talking about?
God of War, sir. The new one, 2018.
2018 God of War.
So good. It really. There's parts that have weaknesses, but they're far outweighed by the unbelievable set pieces.
So on this 30th episode of Cyber Lunch, we are going to do a full-on spoiler cast.
Yes.
Of God of War. So,
yes.
If you haven't played this game, if you've only seen the trailers,
hide your kids,
hide your wife.
Yeah.
We going all in.
Yep. Love this game. I'm so glad that you borrowed this to me after Zelda, because I didn't think I wanted to get into something else again. And this game, I mean, it's one of those first person games that's...
Well, it's actually third, but I know what you're saying.
I mean.
No,
like,
I mean, I
single
know.
player, that's what I meant. Single player game that is 80,
super narrative driven.
80
out of 100?
80 hours?
Oh, I would give it... Oh, it's not 80 hours.
60. I think for somebody to really...
I heard 40. I felt like I beat it in 40.
I feel like you did. I played through it hardcore and it took me 63, I think it was. But I did a bunch of extra stuff, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't done that. I did the special bonus ending and just kind of mainlined it as much as I possibly could.
So, just for everybody, God of War, PlayStation, was Greek mythology.
It was. So you had like God of War. I think there was like almost 5 to 6 iterations before this actually got rebooted. It was directed by Cory Barlog.
The same guys.
Yep, same guys. Santa Monica Studios, Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Bravo.
Yep. It was a slow clap. It features your main anti-hero Kratos with his son Atreus.
As a person now, not as a person.
He is a god.
Right, but he's not just an asshole the whole game. It's like
he's trying to be better.
Right. He's a hardened man who's trying to be a better dad, but he is also a god.
But Atreus doesn't know that for the better half of the game.
Nobody knows it except for the mysterious stranger that knocks at his door. I wish that didn't go on so long throughout the game. That guy, once you beat him, it should have been somebody else. But
that's one of the criticisms I too hold for that game, personally.
Yeah. There's not a lot. It has to be really nitpicky. It's because visually that game is
one of the best looking games I've ever played in my entire life.
I've never seen anything like it. You're the first time you go past the Biofrost and you want to go to different worlds, whatever. And in Thor, it's the Rainbow Road, but in this one with the tree, they have like this dead tree, and once you activate the Biofrost, everything comes alive and it starts swirling around you, and
you go to different realms.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the story keeps you going the whole time. You have your buddy, the severed head.
That you don't get Mimir until halfway through the game,
right? Which is great. Because you learn half the game. You learn to fight. You learn how you can throw your axe like a boomerang.
First of all, let's talk about weaponry. Oh. So in the original games, you had the Blades of Chaos. And for the better half of like the first part of this game, you are dealing with the Leviathan axe.
Yeah, just an axe.
Just an axe. So it felt so good to press triangle and you could throw the axe. There's the skill sets and the armor alone.
Yeah.
There's a lot to this game.
It's pretty deep.
It is super deep, in my opinion. I guess it could get deeper in some other people's opinion, but...
Well, you use every single button on your PlayStation controller.
For sure.
Every single one. Your axe pretty much is like a boomerang. Well, you can throw it sticking into things, and you can call it back.
Yeah, with triangle.
It's so satisfying, because your controller rumbles when it comes back.
Yeah, it vibrates.
Yeah, it's sick. And then later on, you get a shield that you can... It's just on your wrist.
Yep.
You pull out your wrist and
Spartan shield.
Yeah, Spartan shield, but it goes clockwork or clockwise or counterclockwise and builds itself up to a shield, and you can smack dudes in the face with it. The graphics are off the hook. The controls are not as good as Dark Souls or Bloodborne. They're not so snappy, but they're snappy enough where you can.
So as a preface for people who have never played the God of War series, preface,
yeah,
whatever, doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. You were the Ghost of Sparta. At least that was your main title, and you were convinced by Ares, the God of War, to kill not only your family, but you went through the entire Olympia pantheon.
Titans fighting Zeus, fighting everybody.
You killed everyone.
Everybody.
So
brutally, by the way.
Kratos had to hit the restart button.
Yeah.
And he made it back to Norse mythology now, where he restarted with what was his wife, who had passed, and at the very beginning of the game, basically the whole game is that you were giving your wife a proper burial. You cremated her, and you needed to take her ashes to the summit of a specific mountain.
And you gave her son,
as her wishes.
Your son. You have a son now, so you gave him her knife, and blah blah blah. And yeah, you're trying to travel to the top of the mountain to bury her ashes.
That's your main mission,
right? But you're in a fantasy world.
Midgard.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, Midgard is the main, I guess, area where this takes place in Norse mythology.
The old God of Wars were third-person hack and slash, button mashing games. You hit everything and you just kill everything.
It's kind of similar, but it's a little bit more methodical.
Third-person, story-driven. It is a story. And every set piece is epic. Everywhere you go.
Well, especially the World Serpent.
Except for Helheim. I was not impressed by Helheim. I thought it would be better. But, whatever. This game, I finished this, a month ago?
I think so, yeah.
Probably.
Because I was gone somewhere else, and I let you borrow the PlayStation, and I think you beat it over the weekend.
Well, it took me... I think I beat it in 4 days, but then I had to do all the extras, so I think week and a half I probably had it. I did all the... you have to start beating bosses up
Valkyries.
and up and up. Yes. Valkyries, which are these, angel gods, whatever. And you have to beat a series of these and, try to get to the level 7 or whatever the hell it was. And I got to level 6 or something. But I pretty much, when you're out rowing in your boat around the serpent, the world serpent, which is sick.
Oh yeah.
So sick when he talks. Whoa.
Oh yeah. And your controller rumbles and you can really feel the weight of his voice.
When you're in the water, the light from the controller shines blue.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Dude, it's so sick. PlayStation nails it when it comes to like 5 games. Other than that, I'm good. But those 5 games are epic. It's a story. It's one of those experiences that you rarely get. You don't get this kind of video game very often.
No,
anymore.
not at all.
At all. You might get like a 12 or 15 hour experience, or 30 maybe, not 60 to 80 plus. Like, you really can sink some time into this, and every time you're in there, it's amazing. You can just stand around and look around. I did that so much. We're in the photo mode and everything else. Like, you just look around, and it's sight to behold. That what the work they've put into this thing. This is the kind of thing I show people when I'm like, this is video games. This is why I love this shit.
Oh, this is why it's an art, and it's not anything to mess around with. That's now for sure.
The story hits and miss probably, would you say?
I say it doesn't develop as far along as I wanted it to.
Right. It kind of stopped. It was going great, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, okay.
Especially during the end, I guess, with the Baldur thing, and then Freya, and it's a very unique experience at the end of the day, and I'm super glad that I finally got to see the credits, because that's all I've really done. I haven't played any of the extra stuff. I haven't went to 2 different realms, Asgard or Alfheim,
which you can't in this
until
game.
The end.
No, you cannot go to those places.
No, you can.
No, you can't. Asgard and stuff like that, you can't. You can't visit in this game. They made it for this the second game. They're like, we wanted to make it that these places were there, but you can't go to them yet. There's like 2 or 3 worlds
really
you can't visit, which is kind of weird. But I understand they're trying to build something, and it was cool. But Thor at the end, like I wish that would have went into
spoilers.
Another hour. Yeah, well, whatever. If you beat the
that's
game,
what we're doing.
Go home. Thor shows up. And that's what everybody was talking about the entire game. Like, Thor. Remember, they showed those fucking cutscenes with him, like, beating down, like, a mountain demon and stuff like that. It was fucking sick. It was so sick. And then he just shows up, and then it's like, oh, God of War 2. It would have been cool if it would have floated off into another, hour and a half, maybe. Or 30 minutes of a boss fight.
Oh, no. And then Atreus says that it's a dream. And then you go off to do other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can go to Alfheim or anything else like that. I trust you, but I feel like you can go there eventually.
Alfheim you can go to, but the Asgard and what's Earth?
I'm not sure.
Whatever. There's like 3 to 4 worlds you can't go to. They show it that it's available. They said they wouldn't do any DLC for this, and everything else is going to be in God of War 2. But so I'm kind of disappointed in that. I would have loved to walk across that Rainbow Road in Asgard and see, like the game looks so damn good. Like, there is parts where you're just like, holy shit.
There will be a number 2.
Oh, dude, it re-envisioned everything.
7.
God of War died. Ascension or whatever it was. Nobody bought that game because everybody's like sick of it, because the newspaper guys, IGN guys, were bitching about how we don't care about Kratos. He's just a dick and a womanizer and blah, blah, blah. So now they're just like, oh, this is this with his kid and everything else. But I think in the second one, his kid will be his boss.
That's what I was hoping for the end of this.
Right. I thought
he was going to fight Atreus.
Yes. How about the first time he fought the stranger, though?
The stranger?
At the very
Baldur.
beginning, when he knocked on the door.
That was my favorite part of the whole game.
Dude. And he knocks you over this whole side of your house and you just fly through the air and you're like, holy shit. And then Kratos just gets up and is like, what?
Spartan mode.
Oh, so sick.
And he gets punched into the ground and he's climbing back up.
Yeah.
I know you're down there.
Yeah.
Like that old thing.
Yeah. God, it's so good.
Baldur was one of my favorite characters, I think. Him and Mimir, which we'll get to later.
Oh, dude, the dwarf brothers are so goddamn
they
good.
were good too. It was funny because I was at the ZZ Top John Fogerty concert last Friday. So this gal and this guy, they come, try to sit next to us or whatever, and he didn't like how cramped it was, but I swear to God, it looked like Baldur. And then he left because he looked all disgruntled and pissed, and I leaned over and whispered to my dad, I'm just like, I just met a Norse god.
So there's two brothers, dwarves in the game. Dwarven. And they create
Sindri.
Pretty much that's how you upgrade your armor and shit.
Yeah.
And one guy is really blood, he's like a drunk and blah blah blah, and the other one's like a super nervous,
disgruntled,
ADHD,
germaphobe. He reminds me of like a Niles Crane.
Hilarious.
But they're like bitching.
Niles Crane.
They're like bitching at each other's work, like he's a hack and
he sucks.
Yeah.
But then he upgrades what his brother did, so that's how you upgrade the next level. It's brilliant. It's so brilliant, and I cannot understate how good this game looks. Except when you're in a boat. I was very disappointed.
I feel like you gotta have loading screens at some
But it's just generic.
Point.
It's just his movements and stuff. Everything else was so...
Well, it was great.
Detailed.
I guess one thing that you didn't mention is that this game is one continuous cut.
Yeah, there's never a loading screen unless you're loading into the game when you start it again or something like that. It is one continuous shot. It is amazing. The Santa Monica, right? These guys are...
Yep.
I mean...
Master.
Yeah. I mean, bravo. I can't... This makes Last of Us have to step up the game. That's all I'm saying. Makes Naughty Dog take notice, like, oh shit, we can't just do our standard... Like, wow. We have to go
above and beyond.
Holy shit.
And they will. And especially with that last trailer, like we mentioned last week. For sure.
Yeah. But this game, if you have a PlayStation, if you don't and you have $200, $260. Actually, you probably buy it used probably now.
Yeah.
By now,
for sure.
40 probably. So
and I guess
$240.
They're getting a new Game Plus mode as well, apparently.
Yeah. So when you beat it, you can keep going with the stats, because you'll never fill up your stats when you're playing the game straight through. But this is a must play. In my opinion, this is a must play.
Who is your favorite antagonist or like enemy other than Baldur? Like smaller enemies. My least favorite were the doors. I hated them. There was a part at the very end where you got the sight for Mimir to go through that gate, and then Tyr set up like this like trial at the very end, and you had to go through all the different realms and then fight different bosses. So you had like that big gorilla and that other dude that looked like a centaur with a giant stone.
Yeah.
I kicked their ass, no problem. But when the dwarves came along, I died over 12 times trying to beat 2 dwarves.
It's not an easy game.
No, and I played it on not
normal.
Easy, but just normal. Yeah. I was like, okay, I play
extremely hard.
No, and I mean, I'm a gamer. I mean, I'm not an idiot, but I'm not the greatest gamer either. But I feel like, okay, I can make it through this. I had to double check to make sure what difficulty I was on.
And sometimes I had to switch down just to get past a boss. The Valkyries are the ones that got me. The angels, like pretty much God's.
Well, they're like
right hand.
They're mercenaries for Odin.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
God. Yeah, pretty much. They're his.
Just like in Ragnarok, Thor. Yeah.
Yeah. And those are the ones that got me. The trolls though. When you fight the trolls with the big blocks and they're like
the stones,
they're either like fire or they're cold or whatever.
Yeah, it's elemental.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good, and it looks so good. It looks so good.
So after the second time you fight Baldur and you go to Helheim, after you get Atreus
which
back,
is hell.
Yep. You go to the ship and then you pretty much fill up the sails with helium.
Yeah.
And you're flying along.
Yeah.
I kind of eye rolled at that. I'm just like...
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't expect this.
No.
In this game.
No.
Like, wow, I'm flying. Like, yeah, I could see it. The part I didn't like was when he had to defend the wall thing, when he had to shoot at the big... But it was a giant demon and things like that. Like, but... Visually, I can't underestimate. And the controls are good. Like everything is good about it.
Even on a regular PlayStation 4, this has HD high dynamic range abilities. Even on a regular PS4, you don't have to have a Pro to put HDR on.
No, No.
which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
I played
this game sounds like a jet engine.
Yeah,
that's you were playing on a first gen PS4.
Dude, your shit screamed so loud. I took my headphones off because I was like, what does that sound? Like, literally, I heard that. I was like, is that going to blow up? Should I just pause it for a second? Or?
At this point, what PS4 came out like 2013, around there.
Yeah, man.
I'm just like, let it die. Whatever.
It's
now they got those really ugly, like genie looking blue PlayStation 4s for $200.
The game still looks amazing. But I saw pro footage from it. Same thing. It's just a little shinier.
I think so, but you probably have to see it on the actual TV instead of gameplay footage of a 4K capture of the game.
Yeah, it's true. 4K is 4K. When I see a game that's made for 4K, this is when I saw 360 at Funkoland, and it was Fight Night boxing.
Yeah.
When I was just like, when it was in slow motion, the guy's face was, distorting and everything else.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the reason I need to buy this. I would buy this if you can.
So other than the dwarves, one of my favorite characters is Mimir, and you meet him probably halfway through the game, and he's damned to live a life of eternity in this tree, where he also said that Odin, the god of everyone, pretty much like the Zeus of Norse mythology, tortured him in different ways every single day and then banished him to this tree. So you end up having to chop his head off. He is still sentient and still alive, and he pretty much stays on your hip the entire game.
Yeah.
Rest of the game.
It's 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
It's 7 o'clock.
And he pretty much not only provides lore towards everything you're doing, but he also provides comic relief. Where I probably laughed at him and I guess the two dwarves more than I did. I don't know. I was very entertained by his sentiment of just being on his hip and being there to kind of bat back and forth with Atreus and be like, oh, well, Tyr did this or did that. And you know what I mean?
And wherever you go, he kind of explains where you're at. And remember when it was in the dwarf graveyard? Like the old forges and stuff that have been that kind of stuff was so great when you're experiencing a world. I mean, it's linear. It's not open world technically, but it's so much area, and you just the visual stories, the audio stories, and the guy on your hip. You're carrying a severed head on your hip, and
that's Mimir.
Mimir, and I know that, but and he's talking about all the past and the history of wherever you're going through. The game is
about the
great.
giants and Freya and Odin and
everything. Now
I love the giant turtle. Yeah, he was sick.
God damn, the turtle was sick. It was so sick with the house.
Yep, Freya's house.
Yeah, it was a witch's house, and there was a huge turtle, and you come up to him and he stands up, puts his legs up in the air, really stands up, and there's a house hanging from his belly, and that's where the lady that you deal with throughout. Just fantastic. It's like Alice in Wonderland, that kind of thing.
Like a Lewis Carroll movie.
Yeah.
Or a game. Yeah. I call it a movie, I guess, by accident, but it seems that way because everything's presented in such a narrative fashion that it's hard not to think of it that way. Now, this game is...
Is it a 10?
I give it a 9.75. 9.5, 9.75, depending.
9.
A 9, solid 9.
Solid 9. Because...
How can you do much better, though? I don't get...
Dude, I'm
maybe him fight Atreus?
Yeah.
I was at the end of the game when Atreus started getting attitude when he found out that he was a god and so on and so forth, and he was yelling at Sindri and being a total dick. When he got mad, clouds started to gather around him, and he was gathering a thunderstorm.
That's what I thought was a boss.
Yeah,
I thought that was a boss. Yes.
Where he'd just go straight beast mode, and you as Kratos, the god of war, would have to kill your own son.
God of War 3.
You never know.
Want a hamburger bet? God of War 3 will fight Atreus.
I would say God of War 2.
I'll bet you want to be Atreus.
But at the same time, Atreus had a good heart on him. He wanted to.
He's a kid.
Well, he wanted to be better. That's what Kratos said too. Be better than I was, boy.
All I know is if I was that kid and
moments.
I saw the shit I saw, I wouldn't be a dick like he was. That's all I'm saying.
No.
I'd be like, holy shit, my dad's a god.
I'm a god.
Teach me how to use that freaking...
Yeah, he's like... he's like, we're gods. We don't have time for them. And then it's just like, you're lucky that we don't do this or do that. And
they really went to the extreme to make Kratos a person, somebody you can relate to.
Not rather than, well, he was pretty cold at the beginning. Right. Where like he'd hover his hand over Atreus' back.
Yeah, that was that little touch. That was the Last Jedi touch when you're like, oh, it feels. But at the same time, I understand what they're trying to do. And they really, really nailed it. Like, if you didn't care about Kratos before, he was just a womanizing whatever hack and slash game. This game is it's a legit game.
One of my favorite parts is when Atreus and Kratos are in hell and they're on the ship, and the Animus is coming through, like the shadows of the past.
Yep.
Not only did you see Baldur like dealing with his mother, but Kratos killing Zeus, and Atreus is like, "Who's that? What's that?"
Yeah. And he had to explain.
He didn't explain it, but Atreus like dismissed it.
Right, but it was a crossover to the old Kratos.
Exactly, and at the very end, Kratos had to admit, like, I killed my father, boy.
Yeah. It's just a cycle. But it's the Sith Vader thing.
It's like the darkness in him.
Yeah.
Now, at the very end, did you notice the hieroglyphic that was on the wall where Atreus was cradling Kratos in his arms, and Kratos had, like, a snake coming out of his mouth? Did you notice that? Like, and Atreus didn't see this.
Dude, this was like a month ago.
I'm just saying, this is. I guess this is fresh in my mind. But at the very end, I thought that Kratos was going to die.
Oh yes, I did too. I'm like, really? They're gonna
when they enter Jotunheim and they go to the land of the giants.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, obviously, well, another thing that I thought was funny is when you enter Jotunheim and you go to the very summit to drop the ashes and whatever. I was like, okay, well, here comes the big finale boss battle.
And it wasn't. It was like 12 or 13 hours more after that.
I see it. I haven't done anything extra. I've only seen the credits.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I've only seen the main credits, so I was expecting like Odin to come down and be like, you killed my sons, or you know what I mean? Some bullshit like that.
My thing is, in this game, my favorite part of this entire game was the World Serpent. I saw it in the trailer and everything. It was a little piece, but you have no idea. Like, when you really get into it, that lore and everything that happened around that thing, so sick. And the audio, when you have headphones on and he's talking, it's just so sick. The game is.
Yeah, I wonder who did the. Let's see, who did.
That's a good idea. I'd probably find a World Serpent sound log so you can get it. But
well, not only that, but just who did all the audio. God damn it, I can't think of the term I'm trying to use. The art design or the audio design, you know.
Probably Santa Monica.
Well, I know that, but specifically, it's got to be one guy that headed the entire deal. Composers is Bear McCreary.
I don't know. The game is good. This is one of those games where I'm just like, you need to play it. I can't really say too much more.
In a way, too, for me, I feel like I don't have as much. I mean, you could, but once I played it once, I don't want to play it again. Personally, it's not like a Last of Us.
Like a once a year, maybe. I would go back. There's so much side stuff that I didn't even finish. And I played 89 hours.
You must have really taken your time then, man.
Dude, I tried to do as much as I could, and I knew you were out of town, too. You gave me a whole week. I mean, Jesus.
Oh, I think that was over Memorial Day weekend, actually. Now I think about it.
You give me a weekend, I can do some damage. I'm going to try to find the World Serpent voice here. Just the resonance. And it's just like an island, and then he stands up.
Sacrifice your arms to the center of the water.
Oh, is that when you blow the horn for the first time?
Yeah, you blow that horn in the.
Throw our weapons into the water. This won't be a problem for you.
I fast forward it so we don't get. Just visually, the way it's filmed, like the way it's shot, it's like a movie. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, this is where he's rising out of the water in the lake.
Yep. so sick. And that
Sounds pretty intense on the recording.
It just vibrates.
It sounds otherworldly.
Yeah.
Worldly.
Fucking picture in picture. But play it. You have to play it. There's no reason not to play it.
I bet it's pretty cheap now. I mean, it's been out a few.
Gives a shit.
No, but I know that E3 came around. They had like the best games for $20 or some shit like that. You never know.
No, but this is worth every penny of $60.
So, spoilers. I'm gonna leave it 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I knew at some point Athena would come back. And when she did, I literally set my controller down and I was like parading around the couch in circles, just with my hands on the back of my head, like, no fucking way we're getting the Chains of Olympus.
Yeah. When that happened, I knew
I was just like,
your old
stunned.
weapons from the originals.
And he's like, I have nothing to hide anymore.
So sick.
Because Atreus gets captured along the way, and the demons of hell are not vulnerable to your Leviathan axe, but they are to the Chains of Olympus.
Right. There's some enemies that are fire, so you have to use your ice axe.
Yeah.
And there's some that are ice, so you have to use your Chains of Olympus. The best part about it is just it's God of War, but in a more grown-up way. It's more adult.
Matured.
It matured with us. Like, it's not the teenager boobies swinging everywhere. It's a fucking...
Teenager boobie.
I'm serious. I remember the first time I saw God of War on a PlayStation 2, I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, he's with those two chicks in bed at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
You like never saw that.
And it was no holds barred on this too, but it was in a different way. It was more of a grown-up soap opera, but not in a bad way. Just a good story. It was just good. It was 80 out... Like... Seriously, I put it 80 plus. You can look, if I ever get a PlayStation again, you can look up, not Gary Laser Eyes. Anyway, I won't tell you. But 80 plus hours in that game. And it was, if I still had it, I would still probably be playing it and trying to beat certain things. So buy it. It's worth it.
I have OCD. But I'm not a completionist, so I'm in a weird realm personally because I want to play it, I want to get through it, and maybe I'm a poser that I want to just be a part of the dialogue. But I've seen the credits. I'll go back to it eventually, but right now I have other things on my docket that I want to be.
You barely got through that goddamn game.
I tried my best, but at the same time, what games do I make it through? Hardly any.
None.
Hardly any, and I made it through this one.
Like, I played Zelda for a week. Do you want to borrow it for fucking 2 months? Sure.
No, I made it. I technically could walk up to Ganon right now, spoilers, and beat the final boss, but I love that game so much that I really don't even want to.
Well, I was just glad when you were like, I was like, hey, if you go out of town, I can use your PlayStation 4 and play God of War.
No problem.
But I didn't say shit. None. I said nothing about that game.
I actually thought there was going to be like more deep spoilers into it rather than what actually occurred.
Me too. When it actually ended, I was kind of underwhelmed because it's just like a typical...
I thought Ragnarok was going to happen.
Yes.
And
yes.
Max Payne was going to come out. And they were in a nightclub. And
like, the rest of the game was so epic, I expected the boss battle to be like, holy shit.
Well, I thought you were going to have to go through all the pantheon of the Norse gods and kill everyone there as well.
Yeah. But you can't...
This is the will of a god, boy.
Now they're, Vikings, so they can't burn up everything. They got to have some shit for the future.
Well, if you're talking about the Vikings, they do burn up everything.
Dude, well,
The Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, yeah. Burn hopes and dreams.
I just sounded like Vincent Price.
I would say minimum it's going to be 40 hours.
For sure.
And that... If you don't think that's worth it,
that was a hard,
$60
constipated push. 40 hours for sure.
For you.
For me. I'm bad.
I didn't want it to
terrible.
end. I even took, I got like within 45 minutes of the ending and I stopped playing it for a day because I didn't want to finish it, but I knew you were coming back. And I'm like, man,
so you kind of had to.
Yeah, I don't want to finish this. It's one of those games where you're like, you don't want it to end. But you were trying to mash. I see. But I think if he wouldn't have taken such a long break from it either.
It was hard. I did have a few weeks in between it, and that's another thing with like these open world games. It's like if you don't have the time to dedicate to it, it's hard to like keep invested in the story and what's going on. Like the part where I can't remember, but you're in the Dwarven Kingdom, and you go into the white light. And you tell Atreus to, stay there, and you come back, and like all those dead bodies are just piled up.
Yeah.
He's like, you left me behind.
Yeah, for like months.
Yeah, and like you were following your wife's voice.
And he was just fighting shit off.
That type of shit reminded me of The Evil Within.
Yeah. Well, and it reminded me of like hardcore Lord of the Rings.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, you left me behind, you left me here. And he had grown up in the time you've been gone.
I know, and the dynamic at the beginning of the game where he's like all innocent and he didn't want to kill the elk or whatever. And then at the end, he kills everyone. Yep. Especially that one god where he talks shit like, I gave it to your mother or something like that. And he stabs him right in the neck. Yep. And then he kicks him off and he's like, boy, you did not adhere to my command.
Yeah. Yeah, but
he's like, whatever. I'm a god. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, it was just, it was it. This is a spoiler, but at the same time, you guys need to experience it. And even if we spoiled everything, when you see it and go through it, it's fucking amazing. It is a work of art. It really is. These guys took their time and really paid attention to.
Thank God.
All the details I like in a video game, like. Controls, yeah. But when you see that piece of fabric on the back and then all of a sudden you see, oh shit, there's rivets. Yeah. Like little metal rivets here and there. Or like a little pendant hanging down and you see the chain and you see every little link in the... Like, that's the kind of shit this game is.
What I really wanted is for Atreus to join the Norse gods and betray his father. That's what I wanted to see. Where Atreus actually found out what a horrible person Kratos was, and like instead of like fighting Baldur like he did at the end, which was fun and badass and so on and so forth, I wanted him to join the Norse gods and like betray him somehow, where Kratos had to not only go through each of the Norse gods to get back to his son, but maybe even fight his son inevitably.
Right.
And yeah, it's probably the most like easily hand over fist moment of that entire game, but what really got my goat was the dragon, like chomping at you. That freaked me out in a huge way. Even though it's like grab the red thing, throw it at him, and then shoot the red thing.
Yeah, but visually, it's a novel. It's a visual novel. The thing I wanted it to be more like Last of Us. And when Last of Us, when Joel gets hurt and Ellie grows up.
Hot shit
in that winter. Like, she grows up, she's older, and they just kind of fast forward to that. I was thinking it was going to be Atreus a little bit old, like in his teens, 15, whatever.
They did the Lion King where it's like...
Right, having to rescue his dad.
Yeah.
Or having to fight his dad, but you're fighting the guy that you were just playing the whole game with. Like that kind of shit. And you had to fight him with his level that you had at him, what his powers that you upgraded and everything else. Like, to me, that would have been a 10. Perfect 10. But... the game is a 9. In my opinion, it's a 9.
I'm not going to spoil the very ending, just for those who still want to play it and are still listening.
Go home.
But I think it's funny. Like, my little joke I thought to myself when I was playing it is like, I wonder if Atreus is going to die by the hand of Thanos.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a crossover?
Or Thor just comes down, just like fucking lightning bolt through the skull, just... Because they built up so much. That was my most... I don't care. We're spoiling this anyway. My most disappointing thing in this is that Thor was just a afterthought. Everybody was talking about him as like... it's
oh, yeah. They talked about the statues and everything else like that.
That statue, when that shit got destroyed and stuff, is so sick. It's... This game... Yeah. Play it. I mean, what else do you want to say? Right? I mean, you kind of slogged through it at the end, and I think that kind of soured your entire vision of the game. But
I was actually yelling at my TV, like when Freya was just like, kill me, and then you came back and you killed Baldur, and she's like, what did you do? I'm going to rain down 1,000 hells upon you. And I'm just Baldur like, you're such a fucking idiot. Yeah. Like, well, that's a mother's love. I'm just like, whatever. I roll so hard. I think that was my least favorite part of the whole game.
Well, that's when
my most favorite part.
Predictable. The first part.
Not really. My favorite part is when the world serpent bit that giant in the head.
Yeah, dude.
I was like,
it was so sick. Dude, when they had the flashbacks to the world serpent fighting Thor. Thor is taking on this fucking serpent that's the other thing. When you're sailing around and you literally see the serpent like covering the world, like he's curled around the globe, like his tail comes up on the other side and everything else, and Thor fucking fought that thing.
Yeah, I know.
And it was a stalemate.
Mimir can talk to the world serpent.
It's so sick.
It kind of it was funny because you reminded me of Dory from Finding Nemo.
Yes.
How are you?
Yeah, it's fucking perfect. But then you have all these serious parts, and then you have comic relief like that. Like the brothers are.
He's like, does that have germs on it?
Yeah.
That was Sendry.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other blue guy's name.
It was so funny. It's a great game. Great.
You have to have comic relief in some of the things like that.
It's great. The only reason I'm giving it a 9, it's not open world.
It is. It's a Metroidvania style open world game.
But it's not open world. Open world. And there's little hitches here and there where there was like little.
I think your open world debate, I don't know. Some people would protest.
No, Grand Theft Auto is an open world.
It's similar.
No. It was similar, but it's not.
I guess anyway, apples and oranges.
Goddamn, the game's a 9. Fucking play it. Like, there's no debate. You should play it. Anyway, that's enough of that. Secret question.
Secret question.
This was
play the game.
This was designed for 3 people, but when I ask
me a question right after we come back because somebody has a weak bladder and they're wearing a hat.
Man, I'm like 20 years older than you.
It's not my fault.
You're wearing a hat?
Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back. So anyways, we're on to our favorite part of the show, secret question. Jake's got the secret question this week.
I do.
Let me hear it. It's made for 3 people, but unfortunately one couldn't be with us tonight. God bless, but carry on.
God bless. What is your most memorable sound effect in a video game ever?
It's easy. It's so stupidly easy.
Is it Mario?
Yeah. Really? The coins from Mario. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, that doesn't sound anything like it, honestly.
Yeah, no, at all.
Not at all.
That's a good, I mean, that's an obvious one.
It's
give me something.
The most iconic.
Give me something that you remember though, like in your gut, like not just. Like
that's really hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. You know what mine is?
What is? What is it?
When you first start the race in F-Zero, back in the day, when you're like
3, 2,
and
1.
your ship does that like. Well, no.
Or I'm thinking about F-Zero X. I'm sorry.
When your ship is like.
Now, are you talking like a sound effect, just like that's
anything?
It can be longer than 10 seconds.
It could be a guy's scream. It could be a character's scream or bullets that you shoot from your helicopter and choplifter.
I would say anything significant in an Ocarina of Time or any Zelda game where you find a chest and it goes.
That's a new Zelda too.
Do they do that still? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, in Breath of the Wild. Every time you finish a dungeon, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it does, for sure. Or when you get the secret chest in the dungeon. How about the pilot wings? When you're up in the air, riding the helicopter to do the free fall through the rings? It's like... Bum. What's that?
God bless Mode 7 graphics.
How about this? Bum, 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 bum.
That's a song, though.
F-Zero. That's sound effects.
Is the song a sound effect?
How about Double Dragon?
I would say another one that comes to mind is Super Mario Kart. The feather. Yeah. Like when you can jump in the air.
How about Mortal Kombat when you do not just a regular punch, but you do the uppercut and it's like No, it's just like a crunchier, wetter uppercut.
I'm thinking
and the toasty. That's a good one, dude. That's
toasty.
And you push select and start at the same time. You go and fight.
Reptile.
No, the shadow guy, Noob Saibot.
Oh, that's over my head.
Nope.
God bless NetherRealm Studios.
By the way, where is a new Mortal Kombat? I thought we'd see that at.
We're not going to see that till next gen. I'll put money on it.
No, that'll happen.
Fuck yeah, we're not going to see that shit.
Injustice came out last year. We'll have one by the fall.
You mean
this
Injustice 2 came out?
Yeah, I bet you by the fall this year we have a Mortal Kombat 12. Fall, Christmas. I bet you Christmas.
Another iconic
Why are you
sound.
holding your head like you're?
No, I'm like thinking really hard. No, I'm holding my eyes. I'm just trying to think because I know there's a lot of sounds that come to mind. Another one that has come to mind is the spring from the original Super Mario game.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to the feather, honestly.
How about in Mortal Kombat when he exploded? That like echoing explosion.
The bombs from Star Fox 64.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that's a good one, man.
It is. I mean, I can go on forever. I'm just trying to think through all the games that I had back in the day, and I don't know. It's kind of dumb to say like a punch, but like from Battletoads.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's heavy and light ones, or like
exactly.
Like
I wonder how the hell they like recorded that to make it sound that specific way.
Probably like slamming their shoe on the ground and stuff.
Yeah, I know stuff like that. Who knows?
And they're rich.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah, rich, bitch.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, yeah. And like, how about like Paperboy when you throw the paper through the window? It's like. How about Fear Effect? That first like sound effects of you landing on the planet. There's so many. There's so many.
Whoops. I'm thinking about the way the zombies sounded from the original Resident Evil. Yeah. And you're sitting in your room just like, what the what is this, man?
Speaking of that, can you wait till 2?
Nah. I honestly got hyped.
I don't care. I'm buying it.
I know, but I
love that game.
I did get a little hyped because I looked on my Xbox account and I forgot that I bought the original Resident Evil remake. I bought Resident Evil 0 and I bought Resident Evil 4 and I forgot about it.
Dude,
It was in my library. I'm just like...
Did you play the Resident Evil 4?
Oh, I beat that several times.
No, I mean, have you played the remake, though?
I don't know.
Xbox?
I don't know if was it technically a remake?
Yeah, it's re-resed and everything else. I did it when just before 5, which was weird. They did a weird order. They did 1, then they did 5, 6, 4. Now they're waiting for 2. And
6 was trash.
6 is horrible. Well, no, I think I like 6 more than I liked 5.
I like 5 more than I like 6, and I'll tell you why.
Nah.
The demo alone was awesome.
Because it was multiplayer.
They're trying
Co-op.
At the same time, can you blame them for trying to do something a little different?
Yes, I can.
It wasn't that much different than any other Resident Evil games. And plus 5 felt like 4, and I remember at the very ending, not only the bat, but I remember like those... I think they brought those enemies back from 4 where you had to like go into the X-ray mode and look into their body and then shoot specific spots on their body. And if you got close to them, they did like the pufferfish thing where they like grew giant spikes and just it was an automatic kill.
The boss on 4 or 5 was Wesker in like a lava area.
That
like
was
in a
pretty cool.
volcano.
I don't know. I liked it. I don't get
favorite.
Why would you hate on it? Why would you hate it? Why is it bad?
I don't hate it. I'm just saying it's my least favorite.
I know, but why is it bad though?
Because it was more arcade. Once they went away from survival horror and went more shooter, like you always had ammo and it was like pumped up characters and they're like, oh, we can just blow heads off and everything else. Resident Evil, when you first started out, you had like 8 bullets for like 2 hours into the goddamn game. Like you had to run away sometimes. You couldn't just take that thing on until you figured out what the game was about, and then you could go back and be like, it takes 2 bullets for this zombie, it takes 1 for this one's crawling on the floor, I can run around it, go get the shotgun, come back, kill that guy, get this emblem, those kind of things.
You probably won't believe me, but I never really played the first Resident Evil.
God, it's so good.
So when that originally came out, I think I was in 2nd grade.
Have you played the remake?
It's on my Xbox.
Play it, please. Play it.
So let me ask you this question. Do I play the remake of Resident Evil first?
Okay.
Or do I play Red Dead Redemption, which I'd never played? Well, I played it, but I was just kind of like, man, I remember one mission where the guy was selling the snake oil right outside town, and you had to,
Mr. Marsden, how you doing?
And you had to prove that he was like full of shit.
This is how I'll answer that question.
That's a tough one too.
Resident Evil 1 is the reason I got into and love video games. I saw that game. I went to Funko Land, and the guy was like, well, I really can't let you play it. There's nobody in here. And he put a disc. He opened up a brand new game in the PlayStation case, put it in there, and I was sold. I was like, I've never seen anything like this. That's one of my most vivid.
It's funny because when you look back, it's just like polygonal bullshit.
Right, but that was a one game that I was like, I was trapped. After
you were
that.
affected. Now
Red Dead Redemption by Rockstar Games is one of the. I put it up there with Grand Theft Auto 5, like open world. Do whatever you want.
Is it better than Max Payne?
No, because Max Payne is a better story.
I think so. See, I played Red Dead Revolver.
Yeah.
I personally like those games.
Yeah.
Because it incorporated what Max Payne did as well with the slow motion effects, where you had like those shootouts and you could target people on specific points in their body. And when Red Dead Redemption came out, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of open world.
Okay.
I am, but I'm not.
You've never played Resident Evil 1?
No. Don't hurt me. I never played through all of it. I'm sure I played a little bit here and there. Yeah. Like I remember seeing like the opening cinematic of the original game.
It's not
where it's live action and it's super cheesy and the dogs are chasing them into the mansion and blah 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 blah.
That's the one thing that disappointed me about the remake is they didn't let that stay. They redid it with like digital whatever. That game it's not like Twitch controls, nothing. It's puzzle solving and horror.
Tank controls.
Yes, but they redid that kind of too. Red Dead, I mean, I can't tell you not to play that game. It's
I know.
So good.
No,
it's
okay.
So good.
Another one that I've been wanting to get back to is The Evil Within 2. I never finished that.
Not as good as the first, but great game too.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to get back to that, but they're still charging $30 or something like that.
I thought you had it.
No. You were supposed to sell it to me, but you kind of got in dire straits, so then you sold it for another game, which I don't blame you, just to kind of keep busy.
Yeah.
So
redo. I think I sold it for the Division DLC.
Oh, the Division DLC. We're kind of coming up on our end of the show.
Evil Within is the first one is the closest you get to Resident Evil. Evil Within 2 is like Dead Space 3.
I love Dead Space. I love all of them.
I know you do. But
anyways, 30 episodes, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We want to hear from you. You can email us at cyberlunch1@outlook.com or contact us via Facebook at cyberlunch. We are looking forward to seeing you again.
Say regarding Daryl, R.E. Daryl, because I'm not.
I own the game. I will play the game.
No, I
promise.
About your social media.
Oh yeah.
Talk to Daryl.
Yeah, talk to me. I'm gonna be the main squeeze on there. If you guys want to talk to me, I'd love to hear from you. If not, that's okay. We're gonna keep this train rolling. But it's been 30 episodes, and we've been having a great time so far. And with that, I'm Daryl.
I'm Jake.
We are Cyber Lunch, and we are out.
Peace.